Joining us now to discuss is Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, guys.
For a week or two, we've been talking about jets. The Ukrainians are going to get fighter jets. They're not going to get fighter jets. I understand the fear of creating World War III, but at some point, do we need to do more than sanctions to help Ukraine?
Yeah, I mean, this is what's confusing to me. I get it. I thought a no-fly zone made sense. People don't. Okay, I'm not going to argue that at this, but when it comes to things like the MiGs and you have Poland willing to donate those, it doesn't make sense that we wouldn't facilitate that. Look, Ukraine is on the front line of a battle on behalf of all of us. We cannot live with this tepid fear. This isn't 30 years ago. Russia is not the old Soviet Union. They're much weaker, but this is a moment where we have to take a stand or it's only going to get worse.
Goldman Sachs just announced this morning that they're going to close down their Russian business. We've seen so many private companies come forward and say we're going to pull our resources out of Russia. It just seems that every morning that we wake up and there's more and more destruction and more violence and more deaths in Ukraine. What is the tipping point? Is there a tipping point from this perspective?
Well, I think the tipping point is if, the Russian oligarchs or the Russian people turn against Vladimir Putin. Yeah. If somehow it becomes clear to Vladimir Putin that there is simply no way to win. But I'm going to tell you, he's going to double down. He's going to send more bodies, more young people to fight in Ukraine, frankly, more young people to die, because now it's about his ego. Everything we learned in school about evil men and dictators is Vladimir Putin right now. And as you also learn in school, if there's a real bully, it's hard to cower from the bully and expect him to stop bullying. Sometimes you have to punch back. And I don't mean direct engagement with Russia, but we need to make it clear that we stand behind Ukraine and will do anything we can to defend these people.
Well, on that note, every time Putin gets in trouble, if he threatens nukes, and we withdraw, does that put us in a difficult position? Do you think he's bluffing? Is there more room for something to be done?
Look, this is the whole thing. So there's two kinds of nukes. There's strategic nukes, which are the kinds that destroy the whole world. And then there's tactical nukes, which are very effective, but won't destroy the world necessarily. But that's what chills people when you talk about those, because that's the kind of escalation Putin may or may not be willing to do. But here's the deal. The Soviet Union used to threaten this every other day. And as Americans 30 years ago, we understood that you don't cower to those threats. You stand tall. You stand strong. I don't think Vladimir Putin is suicidal. And by the way, if he's going to use nukes against the West, certainly he'll use them against Ukraine if he can't win there. So this, allowing him to dictate the terms and to dictate the land he occupies based on if he's willing to use nukes, I get the fear. Trust me. We're in a different moment. I wish we weren't, but we are in a different moment.
There have been so many people analyzing Putin's mindset, and it seems impossible to put yourself in his mindset, but a lot of people saying that he lives in his own reality right now. So what do you think is the likelihood that someone around him, someone in his inner circle or the oligarchs would step forward and say, hey, enough is enough?
Well, I mean, that's a good question because, the question is, has he basically cleared himself of anybody that has any independent thought? Has he only surrounded himself with people that survive from him? Or, as we're hoping with these sanctions, it makes it tough enough with the oligarchs. I think, look, a lot of young men have died in this war that are Russian. Our estimates are anywhere from, 5,000 to 8,000, 3 times that injured. I mean, that's huge. And so I think if this continues, their economy continues to crumble. He's either going to have to latch on harder to Russia or somebody will say it's time to move on. But look, we cannot use that as, we're putting all our chips in on that answer for our foreign policy because it may not happen.
Representative Adam Kinzinger, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New figures show inflation grew worse in February.